Good evening and welcome to my State of Mind, the mini version here on WDPRI.com. Our tonight's show has a revisit of our conversation with Ed Commissioner on Helica and Fonte Green, 7:30 at MyRITV and Fox Province at midnight, of course. Tomorrow night, Attorney General Pina Nerona will join us for an original conversation about a lot of his law enforcement initiatives, so make a note on that. Speaking of initiatives, today the governor took the executive order by the horn again and decided that she's going to eliminate the reference to Providence Plantations from all the state's paperwork. All the notices you get, all the letterhead that's printed. The state treasurer says he's going to join and take them off the checks. And by the way, the paychecks are under the governor's domain as well. No references to Providence Plantations on the paychecks. And reportedly, according to State Senator Harold Metz, at this briefing today, at this press conference, he said that the General Assembly leadership is going to take it off their paperwork as well. Now, look, this is an interesting time, and I think we've accelerated to a level of consciousness on race that has, well, it's unprecedented, and I think it's all a good thing. It's a difficult process, but it is a good thing. But process does matter here, does it not? Let me just state for the record, if I got a chance to vote on whether to eliminate Providence Plantations from the state name, the answer would be yes. Now, yes. Honestly, I don't remember. Maybe I'm getting old. I do not remember how I voted 10 years ago. I was racking my brain. How did I vote on that one? I'm not going to make it up because I don't remember. 78% of the voters a decade ago said no. So there's a big hill to climb if you want to see those words eliminated. As most Rhode Islanders, I've never used the term Providence Plantation in referencing the state in my life, not introducing myself to people. Hey, where are you from? Rhode Island. Not Rhode Island and Providence Plantations. Have never even made the reference, unless it's a subject matter, on the radio show or the television show. Anywhere. In writing, period. Doesn't mean it's not hurtful to Black Americans, Black Rhode Islanders, who look at it and say, this is painful, this is insulting, and this has got to go. I agree. It's time. I understand the arguments. I get that Roger Williams did not engage in slave trade and that the term plantations back then had a whole different meaning. But we have a history of slave trade in this state, and it's significant. And so if you're worried about the slippery slope and all that kind of stuff, I wouldn't do that. I'd be sitting on the subject matter. The earnest debate will be thwarted or moved in an unhealthy direction by the governor doing an executive order on a lot of this stuff. There'll be pushback. People will say, don't tell me how to think. The General Assembly should put up a referendum for November, and then we should have a discussion about it. They say, well, you know what? There's no way that a 4-1 vote 10 years ago is going to change. You don't know that. A decade has changed a lot. 30 days has changed a lot. Not to give the people of Rhode Island a consensus opportunity, gosh, it just feels wrong. It feels wrong. And it's part of this whole thing where the governor's got so much emergency COVID momentum to executive order whatever she wants. She just thinks she's running the entire show right now. This was a play on her part, a national play and a local play. And I just don't think the play is the right thing in terms of respecting the voice of the people. Now, I hope the people vote to remove the term. And if they don't, we'll deal with it then. But what happens if they get a vote and don't, but the executive order, look, there are financial implications to removing the name, chiseled in statues, and buildings all across this state. There are financial documents, in all of the instruments of finance that the state has. I don't know what the cost is of changing those things. I don't think cost, even though we got a tough time right now, ought to be prohibitive. But we need more information. We've stopped doing the democratic thing here. And that's going to exacerbate resentment. I don't know, man. We got to go back to three branches of government. And when the people weigh in on a referendum question, or should, you got to give them the chance to. There'll be more on this over the course of time, no doubt about it. And on the radio tomorrow, weekdays 2 to 6 on WPRO. By the way, Mike Stanton from the Boston Globe op-ed piece does a real good historical play on this issue of plantations. And I think it would be very, very interesting for you to tune in tomorrow too. And back here, of course, on television, on Meyer ITV and Fox Providence at midnight. Thank you so much for tuning in.